Welcome back. Well, there are everyday heroes all over Atlanta who work day in and day out to change the way our city grows. But few are breaking down inequities and barriers for our unhoused and at-risk youth, quite like the Boyce Ansley School. And this morning, I'm honored to share the couch with today's hero, School President Ray James. Hi.
Hey. Thank you for having me.
Mr. James, I'm thrilled to meet you.
Likewise.
I've heard many glorious things about you, but I want to get into the school and talk about how the Ansley School is breaking barriers and what you're doing for the youth.
So we are Atlanta and actually the Southeast's only tuition-free private school for children experiencing homelessness. We have a very unique model. We have a 15 student per grade max so that we can make sure that we fully support our kids and are able to individualize and personalize their day-to-day educational experiences. But something that really makes us unique is the wraparound services that we provide to the entire family. So about almost 80% of our student population is able to receive therapeutic services on a daily basis, as well as our families get one-to-one case management support so that they can get the individualized attention that often public schools just are not able to provide.
Sure. I have walked through the halls of your school, and it's a magical place, not only for the people that work and go to school there, but just the love that you feel. It can't be duplicated, but we are going to hopefully get some help to keep those funds going. But talk about what your vision is for this generation of kids going through.
The vision, especially knowing our kids and some of the backgrounds that they come from, is that we truly have to be different. And so we cannot be a school that's just good enough for the poor kids or just good enough for kids who experience different traumas in life. And we want to actually be a world-class education, kind of starting with teaching and learning first and foremost. And so we're making sure that 100% of our teachers are able to get Orton Gillingham training this summer so that we can actually meet the language and literacy needs of our kids and ultimately move towards a competency-based education model to truly highlight the unique abilities and perspectives of our kids in ways that traditional grading systems and structures just won't do. Yeah,
I could go on and on about the teachers at your school, but let's talk about, I think we often have a perception of what the houseless look like, and that's oftentimes not our youth. So what does that look like in a child, though, that comes to your school that might be facing that reality?
For some of our kids, that looks like, because of address barriers in public schools, that looks like some kids come to us after not being in school for months at a time. Sometimes that looks like kids coming to us without adequate clothing or without having eaten in a little while. But one thing that we make sure of is that our children are not othered at school. And so we see all our kids as all our kids truly, and we treat every single kid the same expectation that we have for any children, including my own, is the same expectation that we hold for our kiddos. Because we do want them to move beyond circumstance.
Ray, how did you know that education was your calling?
Man, that's a big question. I was not expecting that one. But once and it's funny that it's Black History Month, and kind of understanding some of the historical gaps in education and some of the kind of exact harm that has happened in Black and brown communities. I started out in higher education and realized that there was a big gap in K-12 to folks get into higher ed, and for me it was like it's truly a calling. It's hard to replicate, but I call it it is hard work. It drives me literally right now. I'm catching chills every time I say hard work.
You gave them to me just now. I appreciate you and all the work you do. Let's talk about, you mentioned it at the top of the show, but I think it's important to reiterate too, besides the excellent education you're providing and the academic resources, talk about what other things the kids have access to when they walk in those doors.
So our kids, we have 2 small buses, and so we meet families where they are. Our kiddos come from as far as Jonesboro. We have kids in East Atlanta, West Atlanta, and so we pick up our kids, those who need it. We provide MARTA cards and lift cards to families. We provide emergency housing assistance and placement in shelters and in hotels. We have a food pantry on campus. We also have a clothing pantry on campus, and we fully support our kids with therapeutic services and counseling services that they would just not be able to receive on a consistent basis in any other type of school setting.
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's tell people where they can help you or how we can have people, our viewers, support.
So a few big things. One, if you go to the AnsleySchool.org, that is our website. You get all of our information, and if you click a link that says Gala, you will see on March the 16th we have our annual Gala, which is our biggest fundraiser. It's coming up. It'll be at the fabulous Fox Theater, and it should be a fun night for very good cause so that we can make sure that we're able to grow to 5th grade and ultimately grow to K through 8s to fully support kids through from their earliest years in school to when they transition to high school.
And get things like those buses to pick up those kids that need help. And I will be there on March 16th. I just invited Tanya. Tanya's going to be there. So if you want to meet Tanya and Sam, she'll be there.
Good.
But
I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much for mentioning that and for all the work you're doing in our community. And he was very humble about saying he was not an everyday hero, but you're exactly that, my friend. Thank you for being here.
All
right, and thank you,